We did it. All right, we're gonna do a quick raw video. I just have to put a couple more things away. Also, I'm listening to music, and look, none of these videos are really gonna pop, and I don't really need to worry about getting like a copyright claim because I'm not trying to monetize any of this. So the music's gonna stay on. I like the music. If anyone else likes the music, it's a guy named Juan. It's a pretty cool guy. He's a great musician. Alright, here we go. This is gonna be a video with copyrighted music, sharp knives, foul language, and I'm gonna drink a beer because I haven't had one all week. Alright? That's what it is. I don't recommend you drink. I don't often drink. I actually drink green juices during the weekday and kombucha, but I'm out of kombucha and there's a fight tonight. I've been doing a good job. I'm gonna give myself a beer. Alright, this is we mixed it up this week. I have the chicken leg quarters, which you guys know about, and I also did some, they had the pork loin on sale. It was like $8 off, half price, so I grabbed that. It's a center cut pork loin. Just mix it up. My dog sometimes gets bored of this food. You have to add calcium if you do that though. Right now though, I'm gonna just focus on putting this away. I'm gonna cut this up tomorrow. I'm gonna focus on packaging up the chicken leg quarters, and I have a PSA for that coming up. All right. Oh man, I'll tell you what, if you're a drinker and you just rip through alcohol and beers and stuff, stop during the week. It's so nice. That tastes like a craft brew, and it's not. All right, so we are going to package these bad boys up. These are $8 a piece at the Food for Less, or any store really. They're all pretty much the same. $8 a piece for 9 or 10 pieces each, so it's good. That's real good. All right, where are my scissors? You're really seeing me in my weekend element right now. Music, raw chicken. It's all dog stuff all the time. Now, here's a few things that I want to mention that I haven't mentioned before. If you're doing raw diet like this with leg quarters and chicken stuff, get this near the end. Get it frozen if you can. Get it home ASAP. Put it in the fridge or the freezer ASAP. Today I'm really going to talk about like little things that you should avoid, like if you can, right? I don't want to be like doomsday, you know, that's not, I'm not here to be like a full doomer guy or nothing. I'm just saying chicken, it's fine for your dogs, it's great, but you want to be careful with, you want to be careful with the small things you can be careful with. Like you clearly do want to, you don't want to have the chicken out in the sun. Dogs have a strong stomach, but you don't want it just out in the sun like that. So get it home fast when you, if you can afford to. Perfect. And then get yourself some Ziploc bags or Reynolds wrap, or you know, like whatever the fuck it's called, cling wrap. And don't be like me. Don't be, you know, when I was younger, I was a little cheaper with this stuff. Don't be cheap with storing this stuff, okay? You can find ways around it. You can use like brown paper and stuff like that. It might be a little more of a pain to use, maybe to get off of it sometimes. I find plastic bags to be the best. and I don't mind spending the money on them because of how much time it saves me to store this stuff. And time is money in my, in my field. What I do, time is money. I got to get to work with the dogs. I don't have time to do a bunch of other shit. So it's important to recognize that there's value in spending for certain things. Though I'm mostly always on point with the DIY stuff, it's important to add value to every moment. And if you can save yourself a lot of time, it's worth it. I'm also going to, before I contaminate this wrist wrap, I hurt my wrist. I'm really just showing you guys it all today. The veil has been lifted. I don't really care if anyone's judging me. All right, one bag in the books. Here is a fun fact though. For anyone out there, once again, dogs are not like super sensitive with the stomach. They've got a pretty robust gut. Gut health is still really important to the dog, but if you have them on raw diet, you can kind of take that worry down a bit. I'm currently looking into something with somebody who I trust a lot on raw diet. I kind of want to know what the efficacy, I want to find out the efficacy of bone broth, because I make bone broth every week for myself and my partner and my dogs and stuff. But bone broth is like boiled bones, so I wonder if it registers to the dog as cooked bone or not. So that's something I gotta look into more before I definitively say one way or another. But one thing I will say is this whole situation it can skew like, it can skew more along the lines of like, how do I want to put this? Health than savings. You gotta get new plastic bags. Let me just start over. I think it's really important to highlight that you gotta have new plastic bags every time you're storing this chicken if you're using plastic bags and not cling wrap or plastic wrap. I used plastic wrap before and it definitely took a lot more time, but it was cheaper, which is always nice. Excuse me, we shouldn't use the C word. It was more affordable. We'll say that. Cheap has such a negative context to it. I like to say affordable because, really, who wants to spend more unnecessarily? That's just getting played. I'm not trying to get played. I'm not the guy to get played like that. So, let me get back on track. This is I'm off the rails today. It's fine. One sip of beer and I lose it. If you're storing this stuff and you're not using plastic wrap and you're using plastic Ziploc bags like this, you have to, and I mean have to, you 100% have got to switch these out for new ones every time. I don't care if it costs you money. You run the risk of cross-contaminating the bags, and I know that that's normally something you only worry about with humans, and really dogs, like I said, have a robust gut system, but you don't want to run any risk of bacteria cross-contamination like that with dogs, because then you're going to have to be chasing something within the dogs that might be making them have runny poops or make them sick. You don't want the dogs to maybe they won't get a parasite, but you don't want them to get bacterial infection or anything. Sometimes that can cause smelly breath, smelly farts, and foul shits. You don't want that. And if you're experiencing something like that, it could be due to something like cross-contamination. So you just got to be mindful of it, right? Be aware, be mindful of it. And in keeping to my own ways, I'm going to put these 3 bags away and then keep going. You can enjoy more Juan Wouters. And that's Juan Wouters, like John Waters, but he spells it W-A-U instead of Waters. From Uruguay. He's really great. This song is great. A volar. It's a good one. All right, we're on our way. Here we go. So yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna keep harping on. If you use the Ziploc bags, you gotta switch them out every time. I could be wrong. Somebody could call me out and they might know more than me, but I like to not run the risk. Cross-contamination can just, like I said, it can complicate things that you don't need to complicate. That's why we're on raw diet, right? We don't want it to get complicated. We want to keep it natural and simple so that the dog gets what they need, and we don't put a bunch of bullshit in the diet. So why would we waste all of the why would we put all the energy into doing this if we're then gonna just kind of toss it all out the window because we want to save $3 on Ziploc bags? Buy Ziploc bags, or just buy. Some people have success with plastic wrap. Some people have success with what's the word? Parchment paper is another thing that people use that they have a lot of success with. I've had friends that use brown bags. The only thing you have to worry about is when you use other stuff like that, it can tear or get stuck or frozen into like the crevices of the raw leg quarter, and then you're spending a bunch of time trying to pull it out. Once again, cost versus time. I don't use Reynolds wrap anymore or any of that kind of like plastic wrap because it takes forever. This is fast and I can do it while I'm recording video. I mean, we're on 11 minutes and half the time I was wasting just spacing out like an idiot. I can talk about this too while I'm on here. I saw a ridiculous video someone sent me of that TikTok lady, the vegan teacher, who has a vegan dog. Anyone want to take a guess how I feel about that? There are a few choice words I would use, but I probably shouldn't because I don't want to get anyone upset. But suffice to say, she's not the smartest person. Vegan diet for your dog. How, to consider yourself like pro animals, but you don't feed the dog a species appropriate diet. That is you as a human injecting your own ego into the dog's diet. It's fucked up. To say people who are like, I'm gonna give my dog the greatest, most expensive, most complex and special diet. Dog's diet is simple. If you complicate it, you're getting all up in your ego again. You're not giving your dog some super diet, okay? You're giving them a species appropriate diet, and guess what? Dogs get out there and they eat whatever they get their hands on. That's why you can feed them trash that they normally wouldn't have in the wild. And no, it doesn't mean your dog should eat McDonald's French fries, okay? It's a terrible thing for your dog. Just because your dog eats something doesn't mean it's good for them, okay? My friend had a basset hound that would literally eat nails off of the ground of our shop. So we all know nails aren't good for a dog. It's ridiculous. It's those people who think their dog knows best. Those people who are letting their dogs run their life. Don't let your dog run your life, you guys. Step in. Be a leader. Your dog is begging for you to lead them. Alright, just like that. 13 minutes, almost probably be done by the time I'm done ranting. 15 minutes and we'll have packaged up 2 weeks worth of food for 4 dogs. Which is great. Like, how can I complain about that? But yeah, I'm sure some people out there will push back on the Ziploc bag thing. I mean, maybe you could wash them out. I've washed them out, dried them out, I've washed them out and froze them. But I'm honestly like moving away from that because for no reason at all, I saw a little bit of a change in my personal dog's wanting this to eat. And it could be a dominance thing with the other dogs that are in here. And that's a whole other can of worms. But I started thinking maybe I shouldn't be cutting corners like that. I'm no one to suffer fools, and I'm the first one to call myself out. That's why I'm like that. If I'm being a fucking moron, I'll be the first one to say out loud I'm being a fucking moron. And maybe I'm not being a moron, but it's a little cheap to worry about something like that when I can just buy new Ziploc bags. It's not like I can't afford it. This is our avocado tree. It's gonna come along soon. So yeah, get new bags, get new plastic, whatever. It's wasteful. Yeah, it's kind of wasteful. But then again, you're not supporting the pet food companies. Anything mass-produced like that is more wasteful. As I buy chicken from the meat industry. Now, life hack. If you don't like doing any of this stuff and you don't ever want to manage raw chicken, you can get around that. I love using what I'm about to show you guys for a lot of the dogs here, and the only reason I don't use it all the time is because I like to stick to chicken because most dogs take to it. But a select few don't like this, but whenever I find a dog that does like it, I like to give it to them. This is just whole tilapia. This is a whole fish with like the eye, the brain, the skeleton, the fins. I do cut off some of the fins because I personally, that's the way I just feel more comfortable cutting off some of the more spiky fins. But I mean, yeah, these is just real quick. I'll show you. These are great. They come in a bag. It's another wasteful thing, but hey, they come in a bag, already individually packaged. Like, come on, ready to rock. Good for the dog. Has fish oil in it, right? It's got to be tilapia though. Don't waste your money on anything fancier, and do not get any other fish. Any kind of like any kind of like pink or red fish, like anything like that is not good for your dog. Salmon, not good for your dog. Like that could kill your dog. So just be aware that you don't want to use that. Tilapia is safe for your dog. That's the only fish I'm recommending. I am not recommending any other fish. Whole tilapia, get the whole thing right. We need the bones. So that's like a hack if you want to do a different thing. I've been kind of keeping you guys a bit long. I got work to do. I got work to do, dogs to work with, and this beer to finish before I'm done. So, as I put everything else away, I'll just shut up and shut the video off. I hope it was informative and not just ridiculous. I'm trying to be a little better at putting stuff up. But we have a new dog coming in the morning, and I'll probably be pretty busy. But all the dogs have been doing really well. Oscar's been doing great. He'll be going home on the 15th finally. My dog is kicking ass as always. And Cleo is really coming along. Just needs a little more. Again, I also don't own the rights to any of this music. This is Juan Waters. He's great. I encourage everyone to look him up. Juan Waters is, what is it? Juan, and the last name is spelled W-A-U-T-E, or T-U-E-R, I think. T-U-E-R-S. Juan Waters. Really good stuff. He's a nice guy. We've had coffee and pie before. His music is excellent though. I guess I'm almost compelled to just keep this going to the 20-minute mark, and then I'm gonna kill it. Yes, my two favorite things, a sharp knife and a cold beer. It's shocking how good one beer is if you don't drink. This one deer is gonna be plenty for the whole fucking day.